talk about Phoebe Waller-Bridge because I'm sure that's what people are waiting for us to talk about.
Willie's still the most annoying.
Yeah, Willie
Yep.
is still
Oh,
one
yeah.
of the worst female characters in the history of film. So, for people saying that she is the worst female protagonist of the Indiana Jones franchise,
Phoebe
get
would
outta
like
here.
a word with you. She wants to scream it into your ear.
Yeah. Now, that being said, I did not like her in this movie. I did not like her.
One person I heard say, like, it's supposed to be like a callback to how Indy is, and I do want, and I'm not saying this that I agree, I am just stating this is an opinion that I have heard, and I would actually like y'all's response, because honestly, I've tried my hardest to forget Temple of Doom. I don't know about the rest of y'all. I have.
I tried.
Someone said that Phoebe is a callback to how Indy was during that time of Temple, where it wasn't about preservation or, you know, all of that. It was about, you know, for glory, making riches, and that basically he was the same as she was when he was her age, basically, is the point that was made.
Okay, so here's the problem with that observation. Did you get that indication from Indy in Temple of Doom? Did he seem like somebody that was there for the riches and fame in Temple of Doom?
He really didn't. He really felt like someone that's like, I'm kind of being forced to do this because I just want to go home.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, that observation is flawed.
But
and even
I think they're talking about. I think they're talking about the opening of Temple, where he's at the restaurant trying to get the artifact from, the whoever the hell that was supposed to be, the Triad, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, sure. But okay, here's the difference with that though. Indy was not an asshole in that movie. Phoebe Waller-Bridge in this film is an asshole. I did not like her as a character. She was unlikable for the majority of the film. Did she improve by the end? I know you're about to bring that up. Towards the end, she starts to get more of a heart. I know.
I know
you're about to say that.
I actually wasn't. I actually wasn't. I was gonna.
Actually, I was.
Well, Ruby was, but I wasn't.
That
I
would've
was
been
actually
me.
gonna play. I was gonna play a bit of Devil's Advocate. I am somewhat understanding that this is your godfather, and he just straight up abandons you. He just leaves you and your father to your own. Basically, he leaves you with your father to his devices, and she had to watch her father just break down from the man that he was because of that dial. And all Indy did was just take it away from him, thinking that would solve all of his problems. Which that's like saying that, taking the crack pipe away from a crack addict is going to help him get off crack. No, that's just going to make the withdrawal worse. They actually just need help, but that's not what Indy did. Indy made a poor choice, and that's another thing. Like, he just makes. At the time, he even said at the time it felt like the right thing to do, but looking back, that was the wrong choice to make. I should have went back and helped him. So I understand she is upset that he abandoned her, because that's what he did. He abandoned her.
Again,
I understand
why
that.
does she not talk to him about it at
She
all?
does.
She did.
She did. More so, there was like an actual there was somewhat of a conversation about that when they're fixing the cart thing in Barcelona, or was it Barcelona? Anyway. The location doesn't matter. The point is they did sort of have that conversation to a degree, but the part that I sort of, I'm like, okay, I understand you're mad, but at the same time, like, are you going to give him a chance? It doesn't, no, and the answer is no. She really doesn't until the end of the film give him a chance, or not even that. She doesn't understand because. Again, this is the thing I love about this movie, is that with Mangold, I don't know if this is a choice he did on purpose, but there's the interactions with these characters, like of course they know what happened to them, but there's no like empathy, like what happened to you in that time. There's like, what happened to you after you left me and my father? Well, found out he had a son. Not to go back to that point, but son died. was grief stricken, and that's why I'm in New York. She doesn't care what happened to him. But when she finds out, she's like, oh shit, like you actually have had it rough. You weren't just, gallivanting and all this other stuff while we were suffering. You were suffering too, just in a different way. So her as a character, I will agree that she was somewhat annoying at the beginning, but I grew to like her as the film progressed. And I'm not even at the end, like as the film progressed, I started liking her more and more.
There was something else I wanted to bring up, is that like there was this level of fear of knowing the truth and like being afraid of being told the truth. So that's probably why even if there was a moment that they didn't really talk about it, I feel like Helena was probably a little bit too afraid to ask during that time, because like she was traumatized in a sense.
Yes.
During that flashback sequence. So in a sense, she kind of knew the answer, but there's this level of fear of being afraid of hearing it from someone else.
That's a parallel that her and Indy have for different reasons. But yeah, like because there is a moment where she's like, she plays dumb. She's like, I don't remember what happened on that night. And then a few later in the film, she says something that then Indy catches it. And he goes, you do remember that night. You do remember what happened that night I came for the dial. Like her father drove himself insane trying to figure out what this dial does. And again, she had to watch the self-destruction of her father, which growing up, that is not a healthy environment on so many levels. So there is the resentment towards Indy, but again, there is, like Ruby just said, there is also that level of like, I know what happened, but I refuse to accept reality because it's just too harsh to accept. Which again, it's like poetry. It rhymes.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you, James Mangold. You understood Lucas so well.
Did Lucas write this film? I don't think he did.
No.
He didn't, but the inadvertent,
like 3 to 5 writers on this movie, and you can feel it.
But here's the thing, though. Again, it may have been purposefully done. It may have not been purposely done. But the fact that there is somewhat of a poetic back and forth that they have, it's like, come on, Lucas is here even if he isn't here.
No, I'm sorry. I can't agree with you on that. I really can't. I really tried, man. I tried to like her. I really did. And once again, I understand how you got that from Phoebe Waller-Bridge, but once again, it doesn't seem like the quote unquote trauma from when she was a child really mattered that much. The movie doesn't treat it like it matters that much. And once again, I would like her to go into it a little bit more. You don't have to spoon feed me, because that's not what I'm saying, but she needs to talk about it more if that really affected her. And what did it really affect, honestly? Because that's one of the biggest problems I have with her character. I do not feel that the whole goddaughter, godfather relationship does not feel earned at all. I don't feel any relationship with them. And maybe that was their intention. But once again, I just feel such a disconnect with her as a character, and any connection that she has with Indy. I just felt nothing. It just felt so cold. This whole movie just really felt cold. And as far as her performance, she just felt out of place in this movie. I don't know. Just her I just don't care for Phoebe Waller-Bridge as an actress that much. It's not like Brie Larson level bad, but it's just like, I don't buy her as an action star. Even when she's in the action set pieces, she felt so clunky and awkward and just like, I don't know. When she's jumping off of rooftops and stuff like that, even that alone, I'm just like, I'm just not buying you doing this. It doesn't seem like you're supposed to be in this movie. I don't know. I really don't know. And then
haymaker she landed on Indy at the end felt legit.
I was upset about that too. We'll get to that later. But yeah, just like Yeah, and then the whole thing of like she's in it for the money, she's in it, for nothing else, and she goes out of her way to, she's kind of responsible for having Indy framed for murder, and then she takes the dial and sells it on the black market. What? What? What?
Yeah.
I'm supposed to like this character? No, no, no. It didn't work for me. Sorry. I'm so sorry. It didn't work for me. Now, the least of my concerns was the wokeness. Everyone's saying, "Oh, she's so perfect and everything, and she knows how to get out of situations, stuff like that," and they are correct. However, that wasn't my biggest issue with her. It's just the fact that she was the likable character. Even me, that I like Rey from the sequel trilogy, she is one of the biggest Mary Sues of all time, but I do like her as a character, at least. I still am invested in what she is doing because of the relationship that she's built with Finn, Poe, Luke, and everyone. I actually want to follow her, even though the powers doesn't make sense with what she's able to do. This here, I'm just like, please get off my screen. Please get off my screen. I don't want to spend any more time with you. You are annoying. I don't want any possible spin-offs with her. That's been rumored that apparently there were reshoots that she was gonna pick up Indy's hat or whatever. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. I'm sorry. Stick to writing, Phoebe. Stick to your TV shows. You did not work here. I'm so sorry to say. So sorry.
Wait. You don't think she's being positioned by Kennedy to be like a top brass of Lucasfilm in the future, do you?
Oh, I think so. There's potential.
Was that the one that she hired a while ago? Was she the one that took the photo with the X-wing? Y'all even know what I'm talking about at this point because it's been so long ago.
I don't know, maybe.
How long ago?
I want to say like 2015. No, 2017, 2018.
No, I don't remember it, but like 2018 was the year that Solo came out, and she was in that film. So,
Yes, she was.
I can't even remember what.
I don't know.
I can't even remember how. I can't even remember how I want to look that up. Like. Like how do I type that in? Like new head of, it's not a new head of Lucasfilm, new head of Star Wars maybe. Like,
I don't even know.